You're probably staring at a list of ATV lifts and wondering if any of them are actually worth the cash, especially when you've already spent a few hundred on a rig that might end up gathering dust. I get that hesitation. You don't want to spend money on something that looks great on paper but turns out to be a pain in the garage, or worse, a safety hazard when you're trying to do a simple tire change. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this video, I'm going to walk through the QuickJack ATV lift kit, point out where it shines, where it might trip you up, and help you decide if it belongs in your workshop or if you should keep scrolling. First off, let's talk about the problem this kit is trying to solve. Most ATV owners have a couple of scenarios that force them onto the floor: swapping a busted tire after a weekend trail ride, performing routine maintenance like oil changes, or just getting the vehicle onto a ramp for a quick inspection. The usual approach is to use a cheap floor jack, a set of blocks, or even a wooden plank, all of which can be unstable or damage the bike's suspension. What you need is a lift that's sturdy enough to hold the weight of a mid-size ATV. Around 1,100 pounds is the typical maximum for many four-stroke models, while still being portable enough to store in a garage or haul to a friend's place. The QuickJack kit is built around a cold-formed, TIG-welded aluminum diamond tread plate. That wording might sound like marketing fluff, but in practice it means the base plate is both lightweight and resistant to the kind of dents you get from dragging a heavy machine across concrete. When you set the ATV down, the tread pattern gives the wheels a little bite, which reduces slippage compared to a plain steel plate. I've seen a few DIY mechanics try a flat steel slab and end up with the rear end sliding just enough to make a wrench slip. That's a real safety concern you want to avoid. Another piece that matters is the ergonomic crank. It's not just a metal bar you wrestle with. The handle is shaped to fit a natural grip, and the turning radius is generous enough that you can engage the wheel without forcing a full rotation of the crank. That translates to a smoother, quicker lift, and because the mechanism clamps the wheel rather than squeezing it, you're less likely to mar the tire's sidewall or the rim. For anyone who does regular tire changes, that's a small but noticeable time saver. You won't have to spend extra minutes realigning the tire after you've lifted it. Heavy-duty tie-down rings are another practical addition. They let you secure the ATV with a strap or rope, which is a nice safety net if you're working on an incline or if the lift sits on a slightly uneven floor. In my own shop, I've used a simple ratchet strap around the frame to keep the bike from rocking when I'm loosening a bolt on the exhaust. It's a cheap step, but the rings are already built in, so there's no need to drill holes or buy aftermarket anchors. Now, the kit isn't a complete system on its own. You still need to purchase the QuickJack RML 1100 ATV jack separately. That's the part that actually does the heavy lifting, quite literally. The kit provides the cradle, the clamp, and the accessories, but the jack is sold as its own unit. If you weren't aware of that, you could end up with a nice-looking metal box and no way to raise the bike. So the total cost is a bit higher than the price tag on the kit alone might suggest. For buyers on a tight budget, that's the first thing to keep in mind. Who should consider buying this kit? If you're a hobbyist who spends at least a couple of weekends a year out on trails, you'll likely find yourself needing to change a tire or check the drive belt. The combination of a solid aluminum base, a non-damaging crank clamp, and the ability to secure the machine with tie-down rings makes the QuickJack lift kit a reliable workhorse for those occasional but important tasks. It also suits small auto shops that service ATVs alongside cars. The compact size means it won't hog a corner of the shop floor, and the red powercoat finish adds a dash of visibility so you don't misplace it among other tools. Conversely, if you're a professional mechanic who lifts dozens of ATVs a day, you might find the kit a bit limited. The RML 1100 jack itself is capable, but the kit's design is geared more toward the occasional user rather than a high-throughput environment. You might prefer a full-size hydraulic lift that can handle larger models and offers faster cycle times. Similarly, if you own a heavyweight 3-stroke or a custom-built ATV that pushes past the 1,100 pounds rating, this kit would be out of its safe operating range in you.